Ooh, this little woman gonna wear me down with these questions. I'm wearing these shades because my eyes are very tired. However, when a good conversation comes up and a person doesn't have understanding, here is yet another case where it's necessary to make an individual video to explain to you another misunderstood and misused word, and that word is jealousy. Most women don't understand it. Men do, however. Women don't have the same spirit as a man. That should go without explanation. We're not the same creation. Yahuwah created man alone in his image. You women were created after our image and out of our flesh, not our spirit. He breathed into man of his Holy Spirit, and man became a living soul. The first man was eternal, not the woman. I mean, they were both eternal, but she didn't have the Ruach in her. Now, the subject matter is jealousy. To understand the word's actual meaning, you have to understand the scriptures. When you go to Exodus 34:14, there's a mystery there. See, most people think jealousy is a bad thing. But jealousy arises out of love, fervent, fiery love. It's a spirit in which that which you love and you own and you labored over, you don't want to share. You don't want no one else to use, abuse, destroy it, or kill it. And that all men have that spirit. We will go to war and we will kill over things that we love, protect, and are jealous over. So it's not what you think it is. Even as it's written in Exodus 34:14, it says, for Yahuwah, whose name, even his name alone is jealous, is a jealous Elohim. And it goes on, it tells you about the visiting the iniquities of the fathers unto the children, to the third, fourth generation of them that hate him, yet showing mercy to thousands of them that love him and keep his commandments. Now, if you also look at the law of Yahuwah, I believe it's written in Numbers chapter 9. And you can Google it. It'll give you the chapter. I always look for the King James Version. It tells you what a man shall do. It's a law concerning a man who has a wife or wives, and he lays with her. Again, remember that conversation. The act of sexual intercourse is what consummates a marriage. And for some reason or another, he feels that his wife has been with another man or is doting after another man. In other words, she's acting funny and she doesn't have the same feeling towards her. That's called the spirit of jealousy. When a man perceives that, the law wrote along this wise, that he would take his wife to the priest in the tabernacle. And this is one of the few times that a woman was even allowed in the tabernacle. And I may have it wrong because I haven't read the law in a while, so read up on it. I would Google it while I'm on the phone. But the priest would take some water and some dust from the floor of the tabernacle. And somewhere along the lines, he would write something in a book and blot it out with the water. And you have to read it for yourself. And if it be true, because see, the man don't know if she's been unfaithful or not. That's why, the father's, mama's baby, father's maybe type thing. If she was telling the truth, she would retain her beauty. And I'm paraphrasing this whole thing. But if she was lying, she would be cursed with what you call thyroid and like a swollen belly. Don't no man want no woman with skinny legs and a big man stomach. That takes away her beauty. So read up on that. I believe that's in Numbers 9. So no, jealousy is not what most people think it is. And sister, you know what I'm talking about. I understood your question, but you used the word jealousy in the wrong context. You women can never truly, the closest you women can understand jealousy is for your children. And they're not really your children. They're your husband's children. In other words, whichever man put the seed in you, those are really his children, technically and spiritually and scripturally. You just partook in it and brought them forth. It's just like a flower pot. And if I put seeds in that flower pot, both the flower pot and the seeds are mine and the plant is mine. All of it belongs to the man. But because they came from between your feet, like the scripture said, and you gave birth, you feel like they belong to you. So your jealousy for your children, you don't want nobody else abusing them or chastising them, which is a different story. Or that's the closest that you women can relate to the spirit of jealousy. You know, you don't want your children loving anyone more than you. You know, mama, you know, most children love their mother more than anything, even than their fathers. You know, men, we often go overlooked for the love we do, and the true love is in us, because there is no love without law. There is no such thing. Well, there's a such thing as unconditional love, but that's unrighteous love. All righteous love has conditions and laws. If love doesn't have boundaries, that's lawlessness. Yahuwah is love, and he has laws and commandments that are eternal. There has to be boundaries, because without boundaries, there's chaos, lawlessness, wickedness, and everything else. So yeah, the spirit of jealousy is not what you think it is. It's not a bad thing. Anything that I labored over, like whether it be a house, physical possessions, a car, my pet, anything that belongs to me and has my name attached to it, I'm jealous of. I don't want nobody coming to take it, abuse it, use it, and I don't want it respecting or loving anything other than me, because I'm the one that provided and labored for it. So that's the best way to understand the word love. I hope I didn't chop the law up in Numbers 9 too much, but you can Google it. But it's called the spirit of jealousy when it comes on over a man. And men know what I'm talking about, you know, because nowadays you women are very lawless and wicked. You know, you got what they like to say nowadays, body counts, you're harlots, you commit adultery everywhere, and you think it's normal, and you think you ain't got an answer to it, but you do, because that's adultery. You don't even know the law of Yahuwah, so how can you keep the law and his commandments if you don't even know it? You don't even know his name. You're preoccupied with vain. You take your clothes off and show your father's flesh or your husband's flesh off to anybody and everybody on social media. It's a shame. These days are worse than it was in the days of Sodom. And women are at the top of it, because women outnumber men at least 7 or even 13 to 1. But, you know, that being said, I wanted to make the video. I'm not as tired as I was now. My eyes were half closed when I began making this video, but it's necessary. You have to understand the spirit of jealousy, and that begins with man, because man sets the law of the house, and that's righteous love. If you're in a relationship, or what the wicked like to call an open relationship, or a free, or whatever these funny wicked names they give things, that's lawlessness. There's nothing but wicked. They did the same shit in Sodom and Gomorrah, and we know what happened with them. There's still plenty of brimstone over there that comes from no place on earth is so pure. After that brimstone was rained down on heaven. And this generation in Mystery Babylon or America is many times worse than the cities of Sodom ever was. So you have to keep that in mind. And young lady, if you listen to this video, I hope you understand. Marriage is not about fun and games. It's a sacred oath. The minute you submitted yourself and gave your body to a man, that, you know, you entered into that sacred oath. And it's not about love. A relationship is more about duty, keeping commandments. You know, your husband's commandments, and your husband should be keeping Yahuwah's commandments, for better or for worse, sickness and in health, richer and poor. I know these sound like churchy oaths, but overall, it's the truth. It's basically a summarization of for good or bad. I don't care if you're bored. You stay in that marriage only until death do you part. When that man dies, like the apostle, you free of his law, and then you're a widow and you're free to marry. Or if the wife dies, you know, but a man can take more wives if he want to, as long as he takes care of them. So because you don't love Yahuwah and his law, you don't want to abide in it. So if you despise those laws, then that means you hate Yahuwah himself, and you can't hate one jot of his law and then say you love him. And most of you women hate that part of the law, because you think you're equal to man, and you're not. You're property. You're less than a man. You're about half of what a man is, both in strength and in intellect and spiritual acuity. That's just the truth. You can ask me where I got that from. Yeah, it's scriptural based. So yeah, if you don't like what I'm telling you, Like I always tell you, take it up with the Most High because you hate him. You got that silly spirit in you. I don't care what Satan's children has told you. But that is the truth behind love, jealousy. And man is at the top of creation because the Almighty, the Father, is man. The Son who created everything is the Son of Man. Then he created man in his image, not mankind, not humans. He made man first and then woman. And then when the angels sinned, all these other creations, that's what humans come from. And mankind, that's a corruption of man's. And they're still in the earth. Satan's children do not look like the original creation of Yahuwah. That's why when he said, I never knew you, he never created them. Those are the tares. That parable is literal. So you have to know these things. Y'all still talk about devil like it's a little man in a red suit running around. No, the enemy is what Satan means, and Satan has children. There are many enemies and devils and disembodied spirits walking around. So I know I try not to get off track, but I just did again. The subject of this video was jealousy. Jealousy is not a bad thing. You're jealous over, and that means protective. You're protective over that and guarding over that which you love and you've earned and you've worked for. If somebody try to take it for you, a real man will defend it with his life and even kill. And Yahuwah is the same way about us. He loves us, but we're down here rebels like a motherfucker, even to this day, and it's sad. So I hope that answers your question, young lady, and not just you. I guess I really can't call you young lady, but and for anybody else who really didn't understand the spirit of jealousy. So with that, peace be with you. Shalom really means, people think shalom just means peace. But we declared shalom to a city or a people that we were getting ready to go to war with. Shalom literally means the peace that abides when you keep the law of Yahuwah. So when we yell out to a people shalom, and Yahuwah said, if they return with peace and come out and serve you, then they become our servants. But if they don't, then we go in and we kill them and they conquer them. Because shalom is a peace that only abides in the order of Yahuwah, which means the keeping of his commandments and law. So that's when a brother say shalom to it, just ain't no simple peace. And it sure ain't no peace like the world giveth. It's the peace and the order that we will live only by the keeping of the Creator's commandments. So with that, shalom.